Cory, thank you for coming to the town hall meeting. Do you have any concerns with the department?
I think we need more funding here. Costello keeps raising tuition, but it seems like none of it's going to parks. Should've went to Wash U.
That's it! We should challenge Wash U to a basketball free throw shooting contest, and the winner takes the loser's budget.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea. I can use the concepts I've learned in dynamics to improve my shot.
That's a great idea. Before we do this, we should see what the student and faculty have to say.
Chris, as a engineering student and leader in the SLU community, how do you feel about us betting your tuition in a free throw contest?
Depends on who's taking the free throws.
It's Cory Dikos.
Definitely not then.
I gotta say it's a terrible idea.
No, I think that's a horrible idea, actually.
As a professor, how do you feel about the board's decision to bet next year's budget in a free throw contest?
I think it's an excellent idea, but as engineers, we have to do some calculated math and figure out the risk. I would suggest that in addition to developing your trajectories and all the dynamics calculations that I'm pretty sure you're very competent in.
Okay, so the students don't think it's a good idea. But we're engineers, and we're all about taking calculated risks.
And Dr. Kianvar thought it was a good idea.
All right, so let's do it. Abby, did you see the free throw contest the other day?
Yeah, that was crazy. How'd they do that?
I don't know, but with Wash U's budget, we could have sports science and find out.
That would be awesome.
Welcome to Sports Science. Just like any dynamics problem, we first started with the given values. For this problem, we used Steph Curry's shot as an example. We found these given values, and using the basketball court's regulation measurements, we found these values. So we were solving to find the initial velocity, and to do that we used these two equations, but first we had to find the final velocity in the y direction, which equaled 23.18 feet per second. And then we plugged it in this equation, which was a rearranged version of equation 1, and then we found that the initial velocity in the y direction equaled 27.03 feet per second. For the initial velocity in the x direction, we first have to find the final velocity in the x direction, which equals 12.48 feet per second. And according to this figure and the assumption that there is no acceleration in the x direction, there's only acceleration in the y direction due to gravity, the velocity of the final equals the velocity of the initial. So the initial velocity of x equals 12.48 feet per second. So to find the angle of release, we used this equation, which gave us 65.2 degrees. And this makes sense because Cory modeled his shot after Steph Curry's, and Steph Curry shoots regularly in the 60s. Because Cory's hand and the ball are connected, we're going to use gear ratios. And with these given values, in this equation, because we know that their velocities are the same because they're connected, we find that the angular velocity equals 93.95 radians per second of Cory's hand.
So, if you guys are so smart, how come you messed up the calculations on the free throw shot?
Well, my initial calculations were wrong. I thought the hoop was too close and too high. I thought it was 8 feet 8 feet away from me and 12 feet high. So I put too much arc on it, and it was too high of an angle, and that's why I missed.
Have you ever watched a basketball game?
No, I have not. I go to Wash U, so I don't watch basketball.
Extreme entertainment. This is the way I live. Little boy still pushing big wheels. I stack my money, lay low and chill. Don't need to work hard, that's the way I feel. I feel like this is the way I live. Little boy still pushing big wheels. I stack my money, lay low and chill. Don't need to work hard,